Good evening. This is Sandy Gabe. I am let's see, in this, today I have my IT hat on, and I am responsible for some of the IT infrastructure for AAW California. I'm also the incoming president for next year, and I'm also working on the marketing initiative. So I have a couple of things going on, but tonight we're here to talk about Facebook and Instagram. And I know that the announcement for the session was Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. But as I was putting the presentation together, I realized that we have a lot of information to go over. So tonight we're going to limit it to Facebook and Instagram. And I had also thought it was really clever to say how to create the perfect message. And then I thought one of my favorite adages is perfect is the enemy of good. So let's not even try to aim for the perfect message. Let's just try to aim for a really good message. So if you're just starting out, let's take the pressure off a little bit and let's just look at some good messaging. So here we go. Tonight we have myself, and I'm going to be joined by Nancy Turner. And Nancy is, she wears a few hats as well. She is on our social media committee, and she's also part of the communications committee. And she's going to be helping me with some demos on Facebook and Hootsuite. All right, so our agenda this evening is going to focus on, some messaging basics. So, just getting started. So hopefully everybody has a Facebook and Instagram account tonight that they can play with or pretend to play with. We're going to talk about just some basics about messaging, content, making sure that you think about having a call to action, talking about when you should post, and talk about image management. And then we're actually going to spend a fair amount of time demoing Facebook, Instagram, and Hootsuite. But before we get started, I'd like to know who is part of our group tonight. So I'm going to launch a poll, and I'm going to launch a couple of polls. And the first one is, I would like you to tell me whether you have an Instagram or a Facebook account. So let me relaunch the poll. Okay. So you should see in the middle of your screen two questions. Does your branch have a Facebook page, and do you have an Instagram account? And I'd just like to know that, so I know that there may be some people who don't have one or the other. So we have, I just love this little poll. So it tells me 24 of 37 people have answered the question. So the other 12 of you, oh, there you go. Don't be shy. I can't tell what you're answering. I can't tell who's answering. So don't worry about that. So we have 10 more people, 8 more people to go. And we can do it. I hope that the other 7 haven't already fallen asleep. All right, 31, couple more. Come on, you can do it. It's a really easy question. All right, I'm going to end the poll now and share those results. So it looks like most people have a Facebook page already. So 81% of the people here today have a Facebook page. And so a few of you don't have them. And so for that, I just want to remind you that there is a presentation on our website about how to create a Facebook account. And I would encourage you to go look at that. It'll help you get started. And then who has an Instagram account? Looks like almost half and half. So 45% don't, and 45% do, and 53% don't have an Instagram account. So you might be a little bit challenged this evening because I am not going to talk about how to create an Instagram account, although it's very, very easy. I'm going to actually talk about using it. So now let's talk about your role. So I'd really like to know what your role is in managing your Facebook account or your Instagram account. So do you post regularly, occasionally? or never. And I don't have specific numbers on this, just, do you feel like you do it regularly or occasionally? And the same thing for Instagram. Okay, we're a little faster on this one. Got 25 of 37. Let's keep going. We got 75% of people who've answered, 78, 81. That's about where we stopped. Oh, we've exceeded our first question. So I'm going to stop it now. And let me share the results. So it looks like we're pretty evenly split around. I post regularly, I post occasionally, and I've never posted. So that's helpful to me to understand. And it looks like on Instagram, much like we have some folks who don't have an Instagram account, there are fewer people who are posting regularly, and several of you have never posted. So that's really helpful for me to know as we start doing the demo. So I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you for sharing that information with me. And let's move on. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some message basics. So you have your Facebook account, you have your Instagram account, and you're probably thinking, what would I post and how would I post it? The first thing to think about is having a clear message and have information that people want. So shorter posts are better than longer posts because they can deliver a clear message. So think about shortening your messages to just a couple of sentences. Don't go off on tangents about, all of the details about yes, but, if you're standing on the corner and you're turning left, you need to, look this way. You want to just keep your message very, very basic. And if you include statistics or reports, think about the things that are going to make your fans go, wow. So you're trying to catch their attention. So that's what you want to focus on. The second thing we're going to talk about is including a call to action. So when you think about your Facebook post or your Instagram post, you're really trying to capture somebody's attention and you want them to do something, right? So if you just post, that it's a beautiful sunset today, they're not really going to take action on that. But if you talk about you have an upcoming event and you want them to register, that gives them something to do. And that connects them more strongly with your branch and you than if you just share information. So think about that. And I would also encourage you to keep your branding consistent. So if we have a color scheme, so try to stick with our color scheme, or since we're looking at women's issues, even though I put a little boy here, you want to think about you probably don't want to do kittens or something like that. So you want to try to keep consistent with our branding. I know you're going to ask, where do I find content? And I think that this is one of the most challenging places to start. And I'm going to show a little bit when I start demoing, but Nancy is amazing at finding things that are relevant and interesting. So I'm going to have her share with you her secrets about where to find things. But the main thing that she's going to share are the first two bullets, is to share content that you like from your own page. So if you've posted something, you can post on your page, but you want to share it, you want to like it as an individual person, and you want to have your branch members do the same thing. So if I post something on my page, you want to let your branch know that they should like it and share it, because it's that viral piece that helps spread the message. In terms of finding content, there are lots of organizations out there that have similar content. So you could first look at AAW National and AAW California, our news feeds for content, and share that. That's a perfect place to start. And Nancy's going to show you some other organizations that she shares, that she has looked at and found and shares. And if you look at our page, you'll just see that there's a ton of different kinds of things to share. You can share a URL. So that's the website link. So if you found an article that you thought was really good, if you put that URL into your post, it's going to embed an image automatically for you from that website. It's kind of a nice thing. You can override it, but it starts with an image already. You could also consider posting your branch events. So if you have like our annual meeting, we'll definitely post that. This session tonight was posted both on Facebook and Instagram. So that gets us more exposure. And you already do a newsletter. You already are assembling a bunch of information that you feel is important for your branch to know. Lift some of those articles and use that content in your Facebook page or your Instagram page. That's a perfect place to start. Tagging people, of course, it's nice to get their permission, but if you tag people, that makes it come up on their feed much more quickly than if you don't. And then, as I said earlier, remind your branch leaders and members to alert your social media coordinator, whoever's doing your social media, about interesting news so that you're helping build content. So let's say that you're done with that and you want something new and exciting. So here are a couple of ideas. One is you can call out a statistic or a graph or a demographic. So a perfect example is Equal Pay Day. If you Googled Equal Pay Day, you're going to find a lot of statistics that you could use. Put one of those out there. That's an attention grabber. You could also tell a story. Maybe you have an upcoming event. Maybe you have somebody in your branch who has a really unique and interesting skill that they're sharing with your branch. Have them tell a story. You could write it out, or even better, you could share a video. So very, very easy. We all have our own video production company right in our hands. It's called your cell phone. All you have to do is record a video and post it. It's so much easier than it used to be. You don't have to have any special software or anything. You just record it and then post it to Facebook. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways to maybe embellish it a little bit using a tool called Canva. You can also start or end a post with a question. Questions are great ways to get people engaged. So how many of you blah, 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 that sort of thing is a good way to get people engaged. You can share a link. So you want people to do something, register for this, look at this article. So that can be part of your call to action. And then finally, which is my favorite one, if you come up with a list of ideas, share it with people in your branch and ask them to expand the ideas. So let's say you want to talk about Equal Pay Day. Maybe you want to have 5 posts around Equal Pay Day. Have 5 different people in your branch put together a short little sentence and pick a graphic that goes with Equal Pay Day. National's got a bunch of stuff on Equal Pay Day. California's got some stuff on Equal Pay Day. Go ahead and use that as a way to create additional information. All right, I talked about a call to action a few minutes ago, and you're probably wondering, what in the world is she talking about? A call to action is merely, this is kind of the official, a written directive used in marketing campaigns. So it encourages our visitors to do something. So it helps them understand what they should do next. It does create some urgency, and you can see, sometimes we put phrases on like the next 10 people, that sort of thing. It encourages people to stay with you and to get engaged. And you can do it with a hyperlink or a text. It really depends on the platform you are on. And I'm going to show you that both on Facebook and Instagram. Because Instagram, you can't have links, but there are other ways around that. And some of the words that you might want to use, think of strong, think of action-oriented. So try or get started or subscribe or join. So think action words. So you want to have that someplace in your post so that you have the ability to make people do something. And your whole goal is to provoke emotion or enthusiasm. So here's a good one, the last one, register for the free webinar. We had that webinar today, and posting it on Facebook allowed us to gain more members. Right, here are a couple of examples of calls to action. So on the left side, when we talk about making a splash, this one literally makes a splash. It's got graphics and colors that come out, and it's very clear on what it is. It's 4 weeks of an online course, and there's a Start Now button. So you can click on that and you take an action. On the right side, Nancy's going to actually share Hootsuite with you, but you have 3 things on this one that just grab your attention. All your social needs on one simple dashboard that tells you what it is. Down on the bottom left, you see try it free for 30 days. So that kind of grabs you. It's free. 30 days is a good amount of time for me to decide whether I want to use something. And then on the right-hand side is the real call to action, learn more. So you click on that and it will tell you more information about where to go. So these are really good examples of calls to action. And in case you want more, here are some other examples. There are some links on the left-hand side on different calls to action that you can, click on those and you'll find some additional tools. So you might be questioning when's the best time to post. And again, as I said earlier, you can find a lot of different statistics that will guide you, and sometimes they are in alignment and sometimes they're not. This is the one that I found that was most consistent, is on Facebook, is to post between 1 and 3 during the week and on Saturdays. And on Thursdays and Fridays, you have a little bit edge on it. You might get a little higher engagement on Thursdays and Fridays. Instagram, similar kind of time frame, 11 to 2. And I left the Central Daylight Time in there because that's what the reference was from the source that I gave you. And they identify Instagram as best on a Tuesday versus a Friday. Now, Nancy's going to show you Hootsuite. And once you use Hootsuite for a while, which does have a free version, it will tell you based on your previous posts what might be a good time for the people that you are trying to engage. On the previous slide, I talked about 1 to 3 during the week and on Saturdays, and you're probably thinking, I don't want to be sitting at my computer at 1 o'clock on a Thursday trying to post something. So guess what? You don't have to be. You can be off doing something else, and you can simplify your process, and you can use a tool to do that. So the first thing is people had, as part of the questions when they signed up, asked me about social media content calendars. And I wish that there are lots of examples out there, and I researched many of them. Most of them cost something to do these fancy dancy things. But basically what you're looking at is a spreadsheet, and it has the topic and it has the date and which platform you want to use and what your message is. So it's nothing more complicated than that. You could do it on a piece of paper if you wanted, or you could use a tool like Hootsuite, or you can schedule within Facebook. And I'm going to demonstrate that as well. So if you have a campaign, it's much easier if you think through, I have 7 messages I want to send. Here's what they are. Let me post them all at once. Then I don't have to come back every day and think, okay, so did I already post that message, or is this a new message? You can do it all at one time. I included this slide from our last presentation because I know that people have asked where to find images. I'm going to answer you just in a moment, Peg. I see your question about timing. So images and designs are important. And so I'm just going to remind you where some of the free items are: Pixels, Pixabay, those sorts of things, where you can find social media icons because they are actually copyrighted and they should be used in the way that they're intended, where to find our logos. And then I'm actually going to use Canva tonight as I do the demo. So you get a chance to see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to just bop over to a couple of the questions that I see. Peg asks why it's best to post at a certain time when people don't see it until they sign on. That's true, but there are people, myself included, that gets a notice every time something is posted, or if there's a comment or something, I get a notification, or I just pop over there occasionally. So there are people who look at this more regularly than you might. Let's see, what are the other questions? Oh, we've got a couple here. So do we have any idea when the national will implement the new logo and the new? No, I wish I did. All I can say is I don't. Now that the MSD is out, the replacement is out, maybe they'll move on to that other piece. So sorry, I don't have any insight into the timing on that. All right, so now that we've talked about images, I am, oh goodness, sorry, hit the wrong key. All right, so I'm going to start, I'm going to kind of depart from this presentation and actually get into some demo stuff. I will try to follow along with what I put in here, but it's kind of free form. So just know that you have some supporting materials in the presentation. You can leave it out and make notes as we go if you like, but I'm going to talk about some Facebook actions that you can take. So liking other pages, creating a post, creating an event. I'll talk a little bit about stories and groups. So let me go over to Facebook. And I decided not to log in prior to the session so that you could see what I see when I log in. Because I have a few different Facebook accounts. And as you know, you have to have a person who creates a page for your branch. So this is my newsfeed, myself. And as an individual, I can create a story, and a story lasts 24 hours. The same concept exists on Instagram, and after 24 hours, it goes away. And the whole idea is that you don't over-engineer it. It's something quick you do, and then boom, it's gone. And so this is my page in the middle here. And on the left-hand side, you can see some different things. You can see I've added some shortcuts, and I have several pages that I manage. And one of them is AAW California. I also manage a hospital website and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go to AAW California after I just do this one ingratiating thing and show you this is my granddaughter. This is where I am today, and this was our afternoon. So this is what life is really like and what's really important in life. But now I'll move on to what we're talking about today. So AAW California, so this is our page. And so you'll have maybe a similar page. Facebook has gotten a lot more flexible in terms of the way that things are organized and the options that you have. So I'm going to show you what our page is set up like, and then your page may be similar or may not be similar. So the first thing is our profile picture up here. And the reason we have this here is because for 5-star status, we have to post something about WorkSmart every day. So we just put it as our profile picture. When we're done with our 5-star status, we will change this to something more interesting. So this is our header, and then this is our profile picture, which I just used our logo. And I did create our own logo using some tools. So it's not out there. Yours is probably still blue and green, which is fine. When you set up your account, you set it up for a nonprofit organization, and you have some edit buttons here. So if you wanted to change this image, you could change this image by clicking here and here. So you could change those. And then down here, we have some tabs: About Us, events, photos, and other things. And you can actually change this. So it could be different on your site. Let's see. So here we are down here. On this side, you can see things that have been posted. And because I manage the page, I can see that this was published by Nancy Turner. If you're viewing it as somebody from the outside, you would just see that it was posted by AAW California. It just helps us know who posted it. And here are some statistics that are helpful for you. You can see that there were a certain number of people reached. Engagements means that they did something with that post. And then you can comment here. And right now, if I comment, it tells me I'm going to be commenting as AAW California. When I click in here, I could change it to post as me. But right now I'm on the page as AAW California. So you give some really good examples here of the things that Nancy's posted. She pulled this one from AAUW.org, and I'm going to let her talk about that. On the left-hand side, you can see our engagement statistics and insights, and how many page likes we've had, how many engagements we've had, and how many people we've reached. So this week we reached 4,775 people. That sounds really great, but it's down 51% from the week before. So it kind of waxes and wanes. It depends on what's going on and what kinds of events and stuff are happening. So let me share with you how to create a post. So I'm going to go here, it's very easy. And I'm going to say create a post. Now I can write something. What should I write? I should have thought of this ahead of time and had something all ready to go. But let's just say today, I'm not going to really post it, is a great day. Okay. I can post whatever I want in here. There are a couple of things to understand. One is this box here allows you to make it colorful. So on short messages, I can say, oh, I want the background to look like any of these things. I really like the ginkgo leaf. So if I choose the ginkgo leaf, then it puts my message in here. I could change it. Well, let's say I really decided I wanted it to be blue. I can change that here. Now you can add things to your post. You could put a picture in here. I haven't used the WhatsApp application here. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for our business. And then there's a more thing here, and you have a bunch of different things that you can do. But mostly you're probably just going to add to your post. And so you're going to post something, and then as easy it is to do is to hit post. Okay. So let me show you, I don't want to do that. I want to show you a little bit about making a picture. All right, so I'm going to go to Canva, and Canva is, if I can get this toolbar out of the way, Canva is a tool that I use and the communications team uses to create images. And you can see some of the images that we have created in the past. So these are our recent designs. These are for a different organization, but we posted one on Roe v. Wade the other day. And so here's our picture. I'm just going to show you one to start with and some of the options that you have. The thing that I mostly do is download it, and you can download it as a PNG file. And a PNG file is different than a JPEG because a PNG file can have a transparent background. So you could have a picture that has, like this picture, Team Retro over here, that might have a transparent background. You can also download it as many other things, but you're probably going to do it as a PNG or a JPEG. But let's say that you wanted to start with creating a new one. So I'm just going to go to Home, and I'm going to say Create a Design. And if you look here, it gives you all different kinds of options. So remember, I gave you the sizes for a Facebook cover. Oh my gosh, we can just choose one here. Facebook post, it already knows what size it is. So let's go to Facebook post. And so this is the size for a Facebook post. And let's say that we wanted to do something about equal pay day. We have different elements that we can choose here. So we could do backgrounds, we could do squares, we can do all sorts of cutesy things here. We could also upload a file. And if you say upload a file, these are some of the files that I have uploaded already. And you would just choose upload and you can go to your folders and find one. But you can also pick photographs. So let's see if they have anything for equal pay day. We'll just go equal pay. So they're going to provide some images that you can use. So let's just try this one, equal pay. It pops it right over here and I can adjust it. I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to say set images background. Oh, that kind of cuts off, doesn't it? That's not so great. So I'm going to right click again and I'm going to say detach image from background. Maybe I'm just going to grab the corner here and make it bigger. Okay. I could add text over top of this and I could add a heading that says something AAUW supports equal pay. And I want that to kind of fit in here. So I'm gonna just smush it around and then I'm gonna say, it's hard to see that. Let me change that text to white or blue. I have loaded the AAW color palette in here. Dark blue, that doesn't look very good. Let me do white, okay? And so the only thing about this is that this image is going to be smaller than my Facebook post. So I might want to take this big image and make it fit all the way here. So I'm just going to grab it and make it bigger. And then I'm going to move it down just like that. All I'm doing is using my mouse key and I'm dragging it. And then I'm going to move this here. And now since the background is pretty light, maybe the color will be better as dark. But you get the sense of what you do? So you can publish it to Facebook if you have your Canva account connected, but let's just do the easy thing and say, I'm going to download a PNG. You could download a JPEG, either one would work because there's not a transparent background. And depends on how your desktop is set up, but my desktop is set up so that my downloads show here. Yours might be in your downloads folder. So you might look at your downloads folder and there's my equal pay PNG. Where it gets its name is up here. And it did AAUW supports equal pay because that's what I put as the text in here. So you can change this, but we've downloaded it now. So we can go back to Facebook and we can say, I want to create a post and I'm going to do a photo. And I could do post here, but I'm just going to do photo. And oh, it's got my last one in here. And I'm going to grab this and I'm going to drop it. I'm just going to drop it. Nope, I'm not going to drop it. Let me discard that. Let me start over. Let me do this. Oh, it's stuck there. Darn it. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to
switch back to your white background.
You think so? Okay. So I'm going to add a picture. Thank you, Nancy. And I'm going to just drag that in there and boom. That's as easy as it is to put a picture in Facebook. Now, if you had another picture already done, you didn't have to create it in Canva, you could go ahead and do that. You probably want to put something in here, and maybe there's an equal pay day event that you're having. Maybe your branch has a promotion going on that is a branch event. You could put that information up here, or you could say, join us in support of equal pay day. And then if I hit post, and I think this is okay. I don't think there's anything offensive about this. So I'm going to go ahead and post that so we can see what it looks like. So now it shows over here. Oh, but I didn't spell it right. AAW support equal pay day. Well, let's look like we're college educated women. And let's delete this post right now, since I didn't spell it right. So that happens. Sometimes you can do that as well, but your post will come up over here. Okay. So that's as easy as it is to do a post. Some of an ideal Facebook post is brief. It's 40 characters or fewer. It's timely and newsworthy. So if we had an event that we were doing, like Nancy has shown that we had tonight's event, which is down here. Let's see here, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, your key to outreach, part 2. So she put this image in and she put some information about the event, and she put the registration link in here. So you can do that as well. If you do that without putting a picture in, let me go and find our next event. So I'm going to go to our website. I'm going to go to our webinars. See if we have anything coming up after this. Let's see. Oh, we've got lobby day. So here's the lobby day thing. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to create a post. I'm going to put that link in, and guess what happens? Some really interesting magic happens. It brings over the image that was associated with that. And you know what? You can delete this now and it keeps the image there. So you could write something, join, oops. Uh-oh, where did it go? I'm on my laptop and sometimes where did it go? There we go. Join us for a week. You could have left that URL in there, but you could also put here, and this goes to the main thing, and then maybe you want to say register at this location. And so this allows you to very quickly do a post. So I'm going to cancel out of here. And I'm going to discard that post. Okay. All right, so a couple of things to keep in mind. Let's say that you're looking for words, searching for words, use a thesaurus. If you're looking for something unique, go ahead and do that. In terms of frequency, experts suggest that you post once a day or 5 times a week. And some interesting information on that, let me share with you. So if you have a really big business, if you have more than 10,000 followers, we only have 2,700, but if we had more than 10,000 followers, you might see a difference if you post more than once a day. And the only reason I bring this up is for you to focus on 10,000 followers, which none of us have, you're going to get you get some uptick if you post more than once a day. So don't worry about posting more than once a day. In fact, start with once a week, add to twice a week, just kind of build up. And brands that posted just 1 to 5 times a month, going from 1 to 5, saw their engagement nearly double. So that's a very easy thing to do, is to do something more. And then I have in your packet these post dimensions and that sort of thing. But I wanted to show you how to schedule a post, if I can remember. So there's a planner on the left-hand side, and they've actually made this better over time. So here's where we are. We're on Tuesday, and you can see the posts that have already happened. If we wanted to create a post, and let's say that we wanted to create a post on Thursday, we can click in here and it allows us to create a post. So remember, I was talking about creating a schedule of maybe you have a campaign of 4 or 5 posts that you want to do about equal pay day. You can come in here and you can say, okay, so I've scheduled it for Friday at, let's make it 11 o'clock because we know that that's a better time. And we're going to save that. And then we're going to put our text in here, add a photo. It's a slightly different interface, but it allows you to schedule it at a specific time. And then when I'm done, Nancy's going to show you how to do this in Hootsuite, which looks very much like this, although it allows you to post on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn all at the same time if you want to. So let's talk a little bit about Instagram now. So, the other thing I wanted to note is if you guys have noticed, Facebook is now Meta. So they're starting to make changes, Meta for business. All right, so let's go to Instagram. I wanted to do the same thing and show you what it looks like when I first log in. So you can see all this different kinds of stuff. This has nothing to do with me or AAW, but you see that I have AAW over here. I'm going to click on AAW California. And these are our most recent posts, and you get some information about us. So we have 178 posts, and we have 479 followers, and we are following 954 people or organizations. And I have to give Nancy credit for this because she follows a lot of people who have started following us. And if you click on here, you can see all of the people that we're following. So we follow a lot of other AAUW branches and states, and then we follow people who are associated with us who are liking us or following us. And then you can see who our followers are, the same kind of thing. And if for some reason there's somebody who's following you that you feel is not really representative, or you don't want their stuff, maybe you had some unusual person follow you and you don't like their post, you can remove them from here. And here are our posts. So if I look at this one, you can see this is the one that Nancy posted. And we do, there are a couple of ways you can post. You can cross post between Facebook and Instagram automatically. But we do this through Hootsuite because we actually do sometimes different messages to each platform. I want to talk a little bit about hashtags. So I've had a lot of questions about what is a hashtag and why would we want to use one. So let me bop over here again. So a hashtag is a combination of letters and numbers, and it has the pound sign in front of it. And it is merely a way to categorize information. So it makes it more discoverable, and it makes your post reach a larger audience. So it's a clickable link, and it allows people to go and see other things that are related to that, and it increases your visibility. So you want to use a hashtag so that your post will appear within that hashtag. So if you were posting something about equal pay, maybe you want to use the hashtag #equal pay. Now, sometimes we think that we should make it all AAUW so that people can find us, but really we want to be found in other sites. So you want to make other hashtags or add other hashtags to your post. You can also do this on Facebook, but it's really common on Instagram. And you can use up to 30 hashtags in a single Instagram post. And I'm sure that you've seen some of them, mostly for your friends. You might be posting, the cute dog of the week or whatever, and there's just this whole series of hashtags at the end. And you're probably wondering how they got them. Well, it's really easy. When we post, we can start a hashtag and it will tell you how many other posts are in that area. So in this one, if we were doing something on equal pay, we might want to post it to AAUW. There are 9,200 posts that are in that. Salary gap, not very many, only 331 people have posted there. But look at empowering women. 4 million posts. So that would be a good one to attach to it, because you're going to have a lot more people potentially look at it. So let's go and see. Let's try. I'm going to create a post, and it looks a little bit different on the phone than it does on the desktop. Instagram is more likely done on a phone because it's pictures and you usually take a picture and then you just post the picture. But let's say that we're going to do a post here, and I'm going to select from the computer. And I'm going to go to my downloads document. I'm going to do that equal pay day. I'm not going to post it because there's a typo in it, but let's go ahead and do that anyways. So here's my equal pay day. And then I'm going to say next. And you can put filters on if you want. I could make this black and white if I wanted. I could make it, different colors. So let's just choose that. And then I can also change how dark it is, although this one doesn't show very well. Okay, so now if I want to add a caption, too many P's. Where are my hashtags? Alt text is for creating the text that goes underneath a picture. So people who are visually impaired wouldn't necessarily be able to see that. And as I recall now, I should change this so that we have an image that really works. Let me change this to supports so we can use it. And I'm going to download it. So I could also create this. Let me go back here. Let's create this in an Instagram one. So I'm going to create a design. I'm going to create an Instagram post. And I'm going over to my photos again, and I'm going to say equal pay. And I'm going to find that image because I really like that one. Let's see what happens if I set it as a background. Can I move it? Nope, I can't move it. I detach it. I'm just going to make it bigger. Keep making it bigger. Let me grab that guy. No, I can't grab it. I don't have my real mouse. My desktop. Okay, here we go. So let's just try that. I'm gonna download that. All right, so It's untitled design because I didn't put a title in it. So I'm gonna go out of this one, discard that, and I'm just gonna do a new post. So I'm clicking the plus up here, and I'm gonna pull my picture in, and there it is. And I'm not gonna do a call to action, but you should. Now, you can't put a hashtag here. Well, you can, but I'm going to show you another way. So here's my post. Now, I'm going to refresh this. It may take a minute for it to come up. Okay, here's my post. If you so there are two things to think about for hashtags. One is you don't want a whole bunch of hashtags clogging up your page here. If you can put them in a comment. So I'm going to put hashtag equal. So when I type in equal, it gives me some options. It just comes right up. So I'm going to say equal pay. Oops. Sorry. Equal pay. They have to all be strung together. So there's nothing on there for equal pay. Let me try again. Equal. So I can just choose one of these. Sorry, my mouse. Okay. I apologize. So let's try, let's say equal rights. So we can add that, and we can add up to 30, but 1 to 3 is a common suggestion. And so if I post that, it's going to go in as a comment and it won't kind of muck up my equal pay. And since I spelled it wrong again, I'm going to delete it because I spelled equally pay, supports equally pay. We don't really want that. So I'm going to delete that. Okay. So I'm showing you can post, you can delete a post, and how to put a hashtag in, and how to choose hashtags that will be large followers. Now I want to also show you there's a little bit different interface when you are looking at it on your phone. And so I did a little video because I can't show you my phone. So let's see if we can make this happen. Okay, so when you look at your phone, you can go to Insights. And when you go to Insights, it defaults to the last 7 days. And it tells me here that we had insights of 1,200 people. And then it tells you where they came from, how many are followers or non-followers, and kind of what your top posts are. And then if I'm going to go back and hit reach and go backwards, you can change your insights and you can look at different posts. I just wanted to show sometimes the information on your phone looks slightly different than it shows for Instagram in particular, but for Facebook as well. But Instagram has some additional features that you can see on your phone that you can't see on your desktop. All right, so a couple of other things before I'm going to ask Nancy to join us. So Instagram has some character limits. Here they are, but remember, short and sweet is better. Instagram will cut off after the first 3 or 4 lines of your text. So you want to keep it short and you want to put your call to action at the beginning of your post. I have a couple of other tools for you. Sometimes the links get really long. And so if you want to shorten your links, you can use a bit.ly. And there's a link in here, and Short.io is another tool that you can use. If you're wondering about the Facebook algorithm, here's a new cheat sheet on the Facebook algorithm and how it works. And so that might help you or it might not. I didn't find it to be particularly useful, but you know how sometimes you see things and you don't see a lot of your friends. It gives a little bit of information about how that works. And so we're going to talk about Hootsuite now. And Nancy, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Let me, I think I need to share that you can share. So I'm going to allow you to share, and then I'm going to stop sharing. And then you can share your screen and share with us your Hootsuite experience. And I'll look over the open questions while you're doing that.
Okay. So hi, everybody. I'm already logged into Hootsuite. And this is the publisher page. And I'm going to, there's not really there's not really a home page. When you log in, it says, what do you want to do? And you choose one of these automatically. But I'm going to show you this. This is the condensed version. So you can do a scheduled, which, it shows all of the time frames and it's just too long. So I do the public. Let's do the published versions. So this is what's already published. So this came up this morning and it went to LinkedIn. Same post was in Facebook, Twitter, and then we had Instagram this afternoon and Facebook and LinkedIn again, but for a different post because we had 2 webinars today. So when you have Hootsuite, the advantage of it is that it lets you schedule a post across multiple platforms at the same time. So we're going to create a post in Hootsuite. And when you do that, you have the choices of what all is you have linked. So we have our Facebook post, we have our LinkedIn post, we have our Instagram post, and we have our Twitter post, right? So we have picked what platforms we want to use. And then we put in here what content. So if I wanted to copy a website, like the article that was just put up on from NPR about the women's soccer team winning their lawsuit today. I could copy that URL and load it in here, and then the picture that attaches to it would come up, and I could do that. But let's say we're going to do an event. So we want to say, join our new member meet and greet. And then we're going to say Saturday, whatever, February, I have no idea. Let me come up with an actual date, February 26th. 26th. And as you can see on the other side, it's all populating on the right-hand side, February 26th, 2022 at noon to 2 p.m. Right? And then you can type something in. We're going to get together for pizza. You put in whatever you want, but you want to put in a picture. You can either do it in Canva, or you can go to a couple of different places. Oops, no, I don't want to choose that because that would work. But what you can do is like clip art library is a great place to go where you can just type in what you want. I happen to type in, what did I type? Welcome members. And so there's all these different clip art pieces that you can, this is free. clip art. So you can choose one of these, copy the image. Move this toolbar to the side. There we go. Go to Hootsuite, and right here where it says, oh, no. I wanted to, this one, no, I'm sorry. Yes, copy image. Okay, I'll save this image, and then what I'll do is I'll go to where I have my images, but let's see. So I've got a bunch of different images that I use. Welcome, let's see. Here, we'll say welcome new members. Okay. So we want to put that in, and then it shows us on the right-hand side what the post is going to look like. At the bottom, I can either post this now, let's say, okay, this is good, I've got everything in here, or I can schedule it for later. If I want to schedule this tomorrow, it will give me recommended times based upon the algorithms that are of when people look at our page. So Hootsuite keeps the data of when people look at our Facebook page, our Instagram page, etc. So they recommend these 3 times, or I can ignore all of these recommendations and I can set another time. Well, let's say we're going to say from 12 to 2 tomorrow. Okay, so then that's done. And I can either schedule that, or let's say I want it to repeat again on Friday. So I can say schedule and duplicate. And now this is going to repeat. I pick a date. I want this to be on Friday. And I'm going to say Friday. See, this says at 8 a.m., but I don't want to do that. I want to choose a manual time. So I'm going to say, make it at 1 p.m. But they've already seen this picture. And, you know, they might see the same post and say, I don't want that. So let's delete that one. And we can pick another picture instead. We can go to Pexels and download a photograph of some people. We can choose another graphic. However you want to do it, you can make all the changes. And then here it says schedule and duplicate, but we don't want to do that. We're just going to schedule now. And that's what we do. Okay. So that one is.
So Nancy, are you telling me that in one fell swoop, I can post to multiple places at the same time?
Yes.
I don't have to do it multiple times. I can do it once.
You can do it once. Okay. Now, scheduled, published. Let's put scheduled. Where's my condensed version? I'm having trouble with this. Usually it has a thing on here that says condensed. So let's reset that. Okay. I'm having trouble rolling this. It's not.
It only happens when you're trying to demonstrate to multiple
Only happens when I'm trying to do a demo.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, no, I don't want to sign out.
So I think we can see on your calendar there the upcoming times that are recommended if you wanted to do a new post, but you're trying to be able to show us the ones that have already been posted.
Yes.
Yeah. In your screen display.
For whatever reason, my screen has gone kind of all, see the times are supposed to be over here.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be able to scroll down and be able to show you. And it's not. Well, I can get back my previously posted posts. So yes, as you can see here, it's got the previously posted. I'm not quite sure why it didn't save just now. The other place that you can go to get pictures I wanted to tell you about was a place called Pexels, which she mentioned. So like if we wanted a picture of a group of women talking, you know, there's just like this one here would be a good picture for a new member meet and greet kind of thing. But if you also take your own photos while you're at the events and then load them up, but you have to be really careful. You want to make sure you're using free photos, and you don't want to, you want to make sure that everything that you're doing is nonpartisan. It's very important. So take a look at the pictures that, you know, what you're looking at, and really be discerning about whether or not you think that that would be a partisan picture. One of the other great places to go to is AAW National. You can, this is AAW California, but we also have great stuff on our site. But I was going to say AAW National has articles that you want to share with your branch. They're very easy to download too. You could just pick anything you wanted, explore the issues. Okay, so you're going to have a Title IX, you know, event. And so if you wanted to give people information ahead of time, leveling the playing field, all you have to do here is click this onto Facebook, but you can also copy this URL.
So Nancy, there's a question that was posted about, have you ever tried doing Hootsuite on your phone?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's available on your phone, but I would think that it would work better on your desktop because of the multiple windows you're trying to manage here. So even if it was available, I'm not sure that I would recommend it. I think it's probably better done on the on your desktop. And there was also a question about whether the Hootsuite and the, you know, like all the Facebook and Instagram accounts have to be owned by the same person or not. They don't have to be owned by the same person. It probably makes it easier, but you need to have the credentials to get in. So you can link, we have linked up our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and they now offer Pinterest and other accounts. So lots of opportunities.
Okay, so then there was this other question about when I went to the NPR article on the U.S. Women's Soccer League today. I clicked on the link to Facebook, it automatically goes to my personal page. How do I get it to go to the branch Facebook page instead? If you are the administrator of the branch Facebook page, then you will have the option. As Sandy showed, when I go to my home page, I can do a shortcut to AAW Hayward Castro Valley into AAW California. These show, you know, places that I go to frequently. But when I click on AAW California, I am an administrator for that, so I can post to it. But depending upon what your authority is on your branch Facebook page. So when, let's see, well, so like if I do this, okay.
You're copying the URL.
No, I can either copy the URL or I can just click it directly.
Oh, the Facebook image there?
Yeah, just a second, I gotta click this off. See at the top where it says share to newsfeed or story? This way it will go to my personal page. But I have the option to share on a page you manage. And then I can have the choice here. It'll pop up with AAW California, but I can also post it to, no, it's not here. There's another way I can get in and I could post this up to AAW Hayward Castro Valley because I'm also an administrator for that page.
Yeah, so we can't see those little things.
You can't see this here?
All we can see is the page with the F and the Twitter and the message, so we can't see
It's
that.
not showing you when my other Facebook page then.
Right, it's not showing that.
So is it showing the Facebook page here?
It does show the Facebook page there. Mhm.
Okay, so if I go, yeah. Then the other thing you can do is that you can copy the URL from Facebook. You paste it in and the picture will come up. You can delete the URL and you still have the picture and the link. And, you know, you can put up whatever hashtags you want up here, or you can say, you know, AAW supported Title IX for years. We are having a program on Title IX, and this is some basic information we want you to know beforehand, you know, whatever the reason, or just to share on your branch Facebook page, especially if you are inviting people from outside of your branch to follow and like your page, which is a great way to get people interested in AAW. Anything else, Sandy, that you want me to do? Does anybody have any other questions?
So the only question that's in the chat right now is more related to Canva. So I'm going to share Canva. So I'm going to, let's see, I have too many windows open here.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay, if you stop sharing, okay, then I will start sharing again. And let me go here. And I apologize, I forgot to turn the chat off. So there are some questions in the chat as well. So the question that Isabel asked is, is it possible to resize the Facebook post to Instagram? And yes, it is. If you go over here and say resize, you can resize that way. And so I can't remember which, this one, I think this was Instagram. So I can resize it as a Facebook or as a Facebook cover or as a logo or your Instagram story. So it's really cool because you can just do this. So let's resize it to Facebook. And you can see Facebook is more square than Instagram is. So it's a little bit off here. So we can just adjust that. I'm just going to make it bigger so that it, where's my mouse? Come back, mouse, come back. I'm just gonna make this like that and move it down. So very easily, I've changed it from an Instagram size to a Facebook size. So this up here on the resize piece like this, and I can choose different. So I wanted to show one other thing in here that we did not show. I'm going to start over. I'm going to go back to home and I'm going to create a design and I'm going to create a video. There it is. So you get this blank page and you can choose one of their videos if you wanted to. You know, here's a little video we can use. But, and you know, they've got some stock things in here. And so if you wanted to, you know, just post this, you could. I've clicked on it and I'm hitting delete. I'm going to Control A and delete all that kind of stuff. And I have a video that I want to do. And let's just say it's an MP4 file. And let's see. Okay,
This
well, that's
meeting is
from
being
today.
recorded.
That's from
Excellent.
today.
Okay, all right.
Okay, stop.
So what I'd like you to
I had one picked out earlier of Diane's. Let's see, MP4. I'm just filtering by MP4. I think it was, but I'll just do this one. It's simple movie. Okay, so that's the movie. And so I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag it into my thing here. And it's in your video already. I mean, it's in your Canva thing. So you can, you can use this to create a video, and then you can add things to it. Something I didn't show you before is you can add elements, you can add text in here, you could add graphics. So let's say that I want to add a sticker to this. There's lots of fun things you can do that overlay on top of either your picture or your video. But then you can download this as a video, and then you can post it to Facebook. So I did one on our Facebook page that our marketing group put together. Let's see, this is AAW California. And on the left-hand side, there's a place for videos. Our previous videos, photos, videos. So here's one. Oh, that's not it. Make a liar out of me, Facebook. I did post one. Well, I don't know where it went. It used to be right here, but it's no longer there. But we have posted videos using Canva, and it works very well. So I'm going to take a pause now and see if there are any other questions, because we're about 20 minutes after 8. And I'm going to stop sharing and see if there are any questions in the chat, or let's see if I can stop sharing. Okay, so I'm not able to stop sharing. Stop sharing. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So are there any questions in the chat?
Sandy, there are no more in the chat that I can see, but you have 2 questions through question and answer.
Okay.
And the first question is, what is boosting a post and when should we use it?
Yeah, okay. So boosting a post is advertising. And we didn't get into advertising tonight because that's kind of a whole thing in and of itself. So you would create an advertising campaign. You have to give them money, tell them how you're going to pay for things, but that's what boosting a post does. It's an advertising thing. So that's kind of a one-off. I have just this one post that I want to continue to share, or you can share a different post. We did an advertising campaign for the webinar that we did earlier today, where I posted through Meta or Facebook. I did an advertising campaign in both Instagram and Facebook, and I was able to tell it how many people I wanted to reach, how much I wanted to spend a day, what type of people. So I was looking for a specific age group, a specific gender, an area, so only California, and it was only presented to that constituency. So maybe we'll do an advertising one later as we get going, but if folks can just kind of get started with just kind of basic Facebook, that would probably be helpful.
And another question is, so we can lose videos to both Facebook and YouTube. What's the preference or difference?
Oh, I think it's post videos.
Oh,
So yeah, well, I lost them tonight, so that's totally possible.
I did want to guess.
Yeah. So if you want to post, so they're kind of 2 different things. So if you post them to Facebook or Instagram, it's going to go out to your social media accounts, and the people that you're connected with will see them. YouTube is its own kind of social media connection so people can like your YouTube or follow your YouTube channel. Mostly I think about posting them to YouTube as a storage place. So you can have a channel there and you can store it there, and then you take that URL and you use it in another place. And I'll give you a very quick example. If we look at our page from today, our webinar that happened earlier today. So this was our entrepreneur webinar. I took the video that was created, much like I'll do tonight, and I posted it here, but it's actually stored on YouTube. So it's kind of the major difference. It would be stored on YouTube versus stored on your website, or, you know, it kind of lives on, and it's a place to keep it going. I hope that answers the question.
And go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Gail. No, go ahead, Gail.
Karen Dennis wants to know, how do you delete a post?
Oh, just like I did, the 3 little dots at the top and you say delete. So that's
Yeah.
what I did when you're posting and you go look at the post. You know, you have to kind of own the post. You can't delete other people's posts. But if you've posted and you make a mistake, you can go up to those 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner and say delete post.
Unless you're an admin on the page, you can delete others' posts, correct?
Yes, you can. But
Okay.
you have to have admin rights, but you can't just go willy-nilly deleting other people's stuff on other people's pages.
Yes. And then Linda Slater would like to know, what is the significance of the @ you know, the A in the circle? When should
@
people
symbol?
use that? Yeah.
So that has different significance in different applications. Sometimes it means, like if you use @Sandy, it'll bring up like sandy.gabe@gmail.com or something. And sometimes it is a way to link or send a message to somebody. I don't think about using it in Facebook very much at all. I would use the hashtag to bring up your hashtags.
Thank you.
Mhm. Great questions, you guys. I know it was a lot to go through. It's hard to, I feel like I was talking about a million miles a minute here. There's a lot of information to go through. So we'll post the video after the event tonight. So it'll probably be posted by tomorrow. And you can share it or rewatch it if you like. And it'll be on under the menu at the very top that said webinars. I didn't actually post it on the homepage this time because we had a lot of other news out there. So thank you very much. If there are no other questions, then we'll go ahead and end the session. Thanks, everybody.